Exactly 1 year from today, the next president of the United States will be sworn in on the steps of the Capitol.
And while the Republican race seems as wide open as ever, what was once thought to be a landslide victory for Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton is now looking like a real competition as Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders closes in on her lead in Iowa and New Hampshire. Ed Henry has more from the campaign trail.
A classic good cop, bad cop routine is playing out as Hillary Clinton's poll numbers nosedive. Today in New Hampshire, former President Bill Clinton insisted there's no quarrel with Senator Bernie Sanders, as a new poll in the state found the Democratic Socialist winning by 27 points.
They're both passionate and they're both good. I mean, let's just table that.
Less than 24 hours after Sanders' socialism was put on the table by David Brock, the bad cop.
He's not electable in the general election, and that's because of the elephant in the room. He's a socialist. Well, he's not a Democrat. But he's got a 30-year history of affiliation with a lot of whack-doodle ideas and parties.
And while Clinton aides note Brock runs an outside super PAC supporting her that does not coordinate with the campaign, the attack comes as some of Clinton's old Senate colleagues are also slamming Sanders. Democrat Claire McCaskill declaring to the New York Times, quote, "The Republicans won't touch him because they can't wait to run an ad with a hammer and sickle. It makes it impossible for Democrats in a state like Missouri, and it makes it very difficult for Democrats in states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida." Except when Clinton was in the Senate, her record was not much different than his. They voted together 93% of the time. Plus, the Democratic National Committee has allowed Sanders to participate in the debates, and when Fox asked the DNC chairwoman on Sunday if the party was prepared to back a nominee who calls himself a socialist, she suggested yes.
Any one of our three candidates, I'm confident, will win the presidency if they become our nominee.
And last year, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz could not articulate the difference between a Democrat and a socialist, something Clinton struggled with, too.
Well, I can tell you what I am. I am a progressive Democrat. I'm a progressive Democrat who likes to get things done.
Bill Clinton was on the trail today in part because for the second straight day, his wife was holding fundraisers to keep up with Sanders, whose money is pouring in through the internet. And she got more bad news when billionaire Tom Steyer, a big donor to Clinton and other Democrats, said he's open to backing Sanders. Steyer told Reuters that on his big focus of climate change, quote, "I don't find what she said inadequate, but I don't think it's complete yet." As for why Bill Clinton was gentle on Sanders today, a clue may be in that new CNN WMUR poll that found a huge Sanders lead. In New Hampshire, Sanders' favorability among Democrats is now 91%. Slamming him may boomerang, as Chelsea Clinton learned last week. In Washington, Ed Henry, Fox News.
A new poll from the Pew Research Center shows just over 1/3 of voters thought Clinton would do well as president. She ranks highest of the 9 leading candidates.